it's work. They're skilled. They really are. Some of them, the interesting thing when I read, and I've got a bunch of books of, there's a guy, I think he's a bit of like a sleazy guy when you read the book, but it talks about, he's got a site called Bangkok After Dark, and talks about which clubs and which girls and who's there, and always looking for the next new thing. But the truth is, the experienced girls, they've got some chops because this is their profession.
The term sex work is very important because it is work.
Work.
And people who do not think it is work, I think the reason for that is people think about sexual interactions as like consensual with chosen partners in a recreational way. So it's like you're doing this for fun with someone that you want to be having sex with. And so you're like, oh, you do this for money? That's crazy. But you don't ever really think about like, what goes into like sourcing a client, making sure that you're safe, like taking care of yourself in a way that is like, okay, I'm providing this service for money, because it's the same as like other service-based professions.
Sex work is a psychological slaughterhouse. You are not thriving, honey. You are traumatized. 68% of strippers, 60+% of OnlyFans creators, and 80% plus of prostitutes, all dissociating just to function on a day-to-day basis. 90% numb out during your work. That is not empowerment. That is your soul checking out. Depression, roughly 70%. Anxiety, roughly 75%. Substance abuse, 40 to 60%. You're not boss babying it. You are self-medicating your own damage. Hypersexual trauma bonds everywhere. 82% report sexual dysfunction after leaving this work. No woman truly enjoys this. 0% with genuine enjoyment. It's all coping, easy money, lie, repeat. It's a survival mechanism. Stop being a cum dispenser. You're not empowering anybody. You're performing your pain. You've just learned how to monetize it. Disgusting? Yes. Damaged? Deeply. 90% have prior abuse, absent fathers, or childhood trauma. You don't need validation. You need some healing, some therapy, faith, something real, because this is not freedom, honey. It is trauma wrapped in lingerie. Get out, get help, get whole, and stop labeling this as women empowerment, because it is the furthest thing from it.
On the road with it, hit the link description, join the Patreon. So I heard this woman, and I played some clips probably in the beginning, that said there's nothing wrong with sex work. See, and that's the problem with society, especially with women. It is something wrong with sex work. It is something wrong with sex work. We need to stop, trying not to shame people or hurt people's feelings. Yes, it's a problem that you're a sex worker, and if you're a female or you're a male or you're involved, there's something wrong with it. If you go back to old times, man, even biblical times, whores was outcasted. They was branded, marked, outcast from society to the outskirts of that city or that civilization, because they messed stuff up. They messed stuff up. And when you get promiscuous, be having promiscuous women, in your society, they mess up marriages, they mess up, places of employment. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it all the time. A lot of women get involved in the job, and now, they using what they got to get to what they want. Players Club thought. And, the minute that it don't go the way they wanted it to go, that, they don't get that raise, or they get fired, then they want to say, oh, he did this, or now she did this to me, and they want to cry wolf when something was consensual. So we seen that with the dude from Michigan, Sharon Moore, the head coach. The minute she lost her job, she like, I'm taking you down with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's to be expected from women. That's to be expected. And most people in society feel that way. A lot of people that do crime together, they understand. They talking about what's rules. Ain't no rules in the underworld. Oh, this bigger than me. I'm telling you, most guys are already jealous of you, and now you free and they in jail. Of course, if I can tell on him and get out, believe it or not, 9 out of 10 people in that world is going to do that. Partially to free themselves, but also people make up things in their mind not to like you. Well, he think he all that. He think he's smart. When you start hearing people that say you think you know everything, or they start being jealous, word to the wise, man. Get away from them people. No matter if they blood or they water or they mud, man. Get away from people like that, bro. They ain't gonna do nothing but destroy you. All right, but yeah, it's definitely something wrong with selling your body. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you'll say there's nothing wrong with selling your body. But when you start talking about people in Hollywood doing rituals selling their soul, then everybody want to talk about, oh, that's demonic or that's satanic and all that. You know, at the end of the day, what do you believe, you know, selling your body is? What do you think selling your cat is? And then some people say, well, that's the oldest profession. No, it's not the oldest profession in the world, in history. Go look up. There's agricultural things that you did that was older than that. Because guess what? You can survive without vagina. You can't survive without food, without produce, without, you know, all those type of things, without shelter. So you think people was worried about, you know, sticking it or licking it before they was concerned about, you know, how they was gonna eat or where was they gonna find shelter at? How was they gonna put mooses and clothes and shepherds on their back? Like, just keep it real. It's not the oldest profession in the world. So if you'll sell your body, you'll sell your soul. And you look at the rates of women success and having success in life that sold that cat. A lot of them, especially in the porn industry, they go to that upper room. A lot of the women, you know, they try to find husbands and they're unhappy. The women are just really not built to be ran through like that. They not. You know, all those interactions, all that beating up of the cat, all that ski, all the mixes of the energy, even for men, it causes the imbalance, it causes confusion, it causes chaos inside the mind. It causes an identity crisis. You know what I'm saying? We not built to see that much. We're not built to run through that much. That's why I got a video where I just keep having to push it back. I might leave it for, I think it's Friday night, 9 p.m. I might leave it for that, man. But I just keep getting other videos where I kind of got to move them around. Like, you know, most of my videos is ahead of time. But when I get an opportunity to sit down and really go do a whole bunch of videos, man, it just, everything just get pushed around, moved around. Be sitting there and unfortunately, when the videos that I move around and I keep or I hold on to, and I'm, you know, to release later when I can, they usually do the best. I don't know what it is. They usually do the best, but yeah, there's something definitely wrong with that. Especially in society where there's so many programs to help women out. Society, you know, now it's kind of changing. The still program to help women and give women shelter. A woman can see a rich dude and treat a rich dude well, or a nice off the dude, a dude well, and just be a good wife, a good woman to him, and he'll elevate a woman. But unfortunately, that started to change because when men start doing that and helping women elevate, they bite the hand that feed them. They disloyal. They try to rob you. They try to set you up. They deal with a buster that did nothing for them. You know, they try to take half in divorce, and you didn't took her. And so most of the time, guys, you know, guys are just left it alone. And then you got guys that like to date women that already got something. Now, I come with a certain mentality, but it's a give and take. But it's definitely something wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely something wrong with being a sex worker. Then you throw in the fact that, you know, that's the quickest way to get trafficked. That's the quickest way to get robbed. That's the quickest way, one of the quickest ways to go to the upper room. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What if the dude lost his wallet and they claim that you stole it? Now you in a dangerous situation. You know what I'm saying? Then if you do all of that, most of them don't have nothing to show for it at the end. They still are at the mercy of a man. If you're gonna do something like that, most of the women back in the day should be strippers, sex workers, get put through college, do porn, get put through college, and have something to show for it. You know, obviously it's still hard for them to be happy within a relationship, because once you dealing with this many guys, you know, regardless if the guy paying for it or not, what if he put it down on a particular woman? You know, what if, you know, she have a good time, or she really like this guy that she's seeing on a regular basis, or however it is. Women ain't gonna tell you. They regardless if it's sex work, if it's pay to play, if it's a guy they like, smell good, put it down good, or they like the vibe, they want to be with him. You know, and that's another thing too, where a lot of guys are, you know, they cuff these women. They cuff women that they met off Backpage. They cuff these Instagram models. They cuff these sex workers that they pay for, and then they don't want to tell the whole story about how they met the woman, and then when she gypped them, or she go crazy because of how many sausages she took, or she do what she do as a sex worker and she gyp you, you know, then it's, oh, women ain't nothing. But how did you meet her? You led with your cash, or she was a guy. That was a woman that you used to see. And a lot of women want to live that. What was that movie with Pretty Woman, where Richard Gere, was it Richard Gere and whoever was in there, and he saved a prostitute? Most women want to see that. They feel like, oh, I can save a prostitute. They look at the rappers, you know, cuffing the bottle girls and cuffing the sex workers and cuffing the girls off baddies and all that type of stuff. That's Pookie love. Pookie ain't loyal to nobody. Not until Pookie become reformed Pookie. Pookie ain't loyal to nobody at all. Pookie is not loyal. They on to the next one, even if she make you a baby mama. But they look at that movie with, you know, Pretty Woman. They look at the rappers, you know, cuffing the 304 sluts, and you know, Drake knocking up a porn star and all that, and say that could be me. You know, and guess what? Them women are still not happy. The women usually don't be in successful relationships. The women still deal with dudes having babies on the side. You know, they don't get married. They not married successfully. If they do get married, it's not for long. You know, so you sell yourself out very, very fast. And then you fight demons for the rest of your life. So you're on par with, you know, people who sell their soul in Hollywood, or people that sell their soul in general. You sold your body. You think the soul is sold separately? No, the soul comes with it. So at the end of the day, it is a lot wrong with that. It is a lot wrong with that. You know, find a better way. So many programs and opportunities for women, but they just don't want to work. You know, y'all fought to work. And if you don't want to work, you know, learn to be a traditional woman. Learn to keep your head high. Learn to be a little bit bougie. Learn to be a little bit more inviting and caring and loving, and having those mother and skill. Marry before you carry. The reason traditional women died is because of modern women. They want to compete with men. But if they really learn how to finesse men like that, if they really want to know how to finesse men, you ain't gonna beat man by competing with him. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole different way. Whole different situation. But yeah, it's a lot wrong with it. Unfortunately, people want to say ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's a lot wrong with it. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.
Thank you, because women will swear up and down how dangerous sex work is. And of course, it can be dangerous, but statistics show that the number one person that is in danger is a woman that is living with a man, okay? Not an escort, because the thing about it is that when you are an escort, when you work in sex work, you know what you're getting yourself into. So you are taking the necessary precautions. Women are going out in the dating world not taking precautions, not even questioning or wondering, is this even going to be a safe person? Is this even a person that has good intentions for me? When you work as an S worker, you're already prepared. You're already prepared because you know how men are. You know how men can be. And this is why they always have this stigma that's attached to S workers, because they want women to be ignorant. They want women to be ignorant victims and not take the proper precautions that it would take in order for them to protect themselves. These dating apps are fucking a breeding ground for predators. Okay? These men are lying, giving you a fake name so that way their criminal records can come up clean. They're using other people's pictures. They're using old, outdated pictures, trying to portray themselves as family men. Meanwhile, they lost custody years ago. Meanwhile, they're on the SA offender list, CSA offender list. I mean, I don't understand why women are still fucking using these dating apps. I really don't understand why they're using them. I feel like at this point, if you are a woman that's using a dating app, you're asking for something dangerous to happen to you. You're practically asking for it, because these men can portray whoever they want to portray behind a fucking screen. They could say whatever it is that they want to say, and have we not seen story time after story time after story time on how a lot of these situations start from fucking Hinge? Just behind about every horror story, dating horror story, horrible divorce, the story is always starting off with, so we met on Hinge. That should tell you something. And yet these women are fucking addicted to the dopamine kick that they're getting from these fucking dating apps because they want validation so bad. And these women are literally willing to risk their lives to get some goddamn validation from a man who literally is trying to get punani from them for fucking $20 in an hour of their time and maybe 2 weeks worth of text message investment. Women need to wake the fuck up. Honestly, like, they need to wake up. It's getting insane. I can't. Just a week ago, there was a girl that I saw and she was on Hinge, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, the disparity, the absolute disparity. You see the femicide rates are up. You see what they're doing with Project 2025. You see what they're doing with the Big Beautiful Bill. You see all of these things that they're fucking doing to further subjugate women, and women are still willfully choosing to play this fucking game with men. I do not get it. It's a sickness.